So go ahead and let her guide you, and she's going to take you to... And where is she taking you? Did you go through the door?
Yes. It just feels like it's very light. It's like space. We're traveling in the air.
How's that feel?
It feels very relaxing.
Very good. And you're going to be there in the count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. Where she brought you to?
We're in some... looks like a... It's not on the earth or on... It looks like something different.
Oh, okay, you look like you're not on Earth. And you're going to speak nice and clear and nice and loud. And so, sort of describe where she's brought you to. No matter how weird it looks.
I see like buildings that are shaped really weird, and it feels very like damp in the air.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and ask Kayla. Kayla, where have you brought you? Where are you?
To Hank's higher self.
Ah, very good. And are they there? Can you see them? Or ask her, can she point in their direction?
Yes, she's pointing.
And where is she pointing to?
She's pointing at this building that we're walking into.
Ah, beautiful. And you say the building is shaped weird. What type of shape does it have?
It's got like triangles and rounded shapes. It's just not a regular shaped building. It's
sort of beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, beautiful. And what about the entrance?
It looks like a golden door.
Oh, very beautiful. So go ahead and continue with her.
Okay.
Have you made it inside?
Mm-hmm.
And what does the inside look like?
It looks like I see a stairway on the right side, but it's like the stairs are floating.
Oh, beautiful. And what about, okay, you see the stairs on the right, and what about to the left and everywhere else around you?
I'm gonna see. It looks just like a large room on the left with this stairway down, like 3 steps down into a larger room.
In which direction would she say that my higher self is?
Up the stairs.
Up the stairs. Okay, so my higher self, I've already established, her name is Isabel. Could you ask Isabel, or could either one of you ask Isabel, say, Isabel, can you come forward, please, or come out, please, or would you rather go up the stairs to meet her? Does it look like it'll be fun to go up those steps?
Yeah, she's wanting to come up the stairs.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and get to the top of the stairs really quickly. And you're going to float up those steps. And you're there at the top now. Where are you?
I'm on a very, it's like an open, there's like 2 hallways, but I see Isabel.
Oh, beautiful. And what is Isabel doing?
She's waving and she's greeting us.
Oh, very good. Is she waving you over to her, or is she approaching you?
She's approaching us.
Oh, beautiful. Just describe her as she walks, as she comes forward.
She has this, looks like a beautiful gown on.
What color?
It's a light green.
Oh, beautiful. Love that color. And ask Isabel, how is she?
She's fine.
Well, tell her place is very beautiful and interesting.
Yeah, she's glad that we came.
Oh, very good. And she knows that Hank has been back and forth, having these conversations. Does she mind communicating with me?
No, she doesn't mind.
Oh, very good. And to, ask it. This place is so amazing and beautiful. Ask her, where is it? Is it on another dimension or a higher frequency band? She'll understand those words.
We're in a higher dimension.
Okay, and ask her, would it be the higher 4th or the 5th dimension, or maybe even the 6th dimension?
We're in the 4th.
Okay, very good. And what is this particular place? Is this where she lives, or where she...
She said that she just wanted, this is where she wanted to come greet us. She knew it would make me feel comfortable.
Ah, very good. And I had a few questions about all of the different sessions that I've been having, and I was wondering if she could clear some things up for me.
She said she would try.
Very good.
To make you understand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I spoke when you spoke. Say it again.
She said she would try to make you understand.
Okay, very good. And ask her, is it okay for you to relay these messages to me with no problem?
Yes.
Well, my first question was about you. I mean, I know on that level she has a lot of access to a lot of information. When you see things out the corner of your eye, ask her, are those things that you're seeing, if they're real?
Yes.
And ask her, how is it that you're able to see those things?
Because I am able to use a different part of my brain, which I don't understand, but...
That's okay. That's okay. I'll explain it to you afterwards. Just go ahead and take the information, whatever she says, and ask her, is it a gift or is it what everyone has the propensity to do that?
She said that it's a gift, but some people can learn to build up be able to see things, but not as much as I can.
Very good. And this is really good to know. And also ask her, so is it appropriate or proper for you to be able to relay this information that she's going to share with Hank?
Yes.
Very good. So, my first question is, and I'm really, really grateful, is Augustine in the place? Is he there? Because they're normally together whenever.
Not in this level.
Oh, very good. So where is Augustine focused in a higher dimension?
Yes.
And would that be fifth or sixth or maybe even seventh?
That would be in 6. She just wanted to come to greet me down here.
Oh, very good. And ask her, do you have the vibrational frequency to be able to experience the 6th dimension yet?
No.
Okay, very good. No worries. And totally understood. So, once again, with all these sessions that Hank has been doing, and she shows up almost every time, and I'm really grateful for that. I think the first time she arrived was with Rico, and I know she knows who Rico is. Was that her when he said there's a beautiful woman named Isabel here?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And why does she always laugh at me every time I ask them what the name is?
I don't know.
Does she think that, like, is she laughing at Hank because he's asking when he already knows that it's her?
Yeah, she says that Hank should know that she's always there.
Okay, very good. Okay, so each time that she's shown up, like, how big is she right now? How big is Isabel now as you're looking at her?
She's the same as me.
Okay, and ask her when I've done a session with Manuel last week, and I did a session with Dane, and I did a session with Liz, and they all said that she was giant. She and Augustine were giant. Is that them in the 6th dimension when those other guys were coming through?
Yes.
Okay, so Manuel has obviously the ability to experience 6th-dimensional beings.
Yes.
Oh, is that why it's so easy for him to be, he's literally bilocating? Is that what he's doing when he's here on the table and he's actually communicating with her?
Yes.
Okay, and when in Manuel's session, he said he was taken to the big ship by Abraham, and there was a giant inside. He said that was me. Was that her or as my higher self, or was it Augustine as my higher self in that ship?
Augustine?
Ah, very good. And Augustine, is he also known as the teacher?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Which means I'm a teacher then, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So, another thing that Manuel said, we were. I'm recalling the sessions that I've had thus far, and I know she knows that I'm taping them and I'm exposing them to the world for them to see. And of course, I always ask a lot of questions about myself, and so the more I know myself better, I think people can know themselves better. He's in the last session. He said I had 57,000 expressions of myself physically manifest on the planet. And that's what Manuel said. And in the session I did with Dane, he said that I had a whole bunch of twin flames. Are those twin flames the same 57,000 expressions of myself that Manuel was speaking of?
She said yes.
And he also said that not everyone is able to do that, but that I was. How am I able to do that? Or how are we able to do that, seeing that she's my higher self?
Because you've been through so much more than a lot of other people have. And you're able to be more open.
Oh, very good. And you're going to speak loud and clear, very loud, very clear. It won't interrupt anything at all. So 57,000. And ask her, do I know any of those 57,000 that are here on this planet? Personally?
Yes.
Oh, really? And could she tell me any of them at all?
I don't understand, but she said that I know her. I know.
So may I give her some names and she just answer yes or no since it's unclear to Chris?
Yes.
Oh, very good. And Eddie, who I live with, is he an expression of myself?
Yes.
And so that means Eddie and I are one and the same, but just physically manifest in two different bodies?
Yes.
And what about Sophia Torres, my best friend?
I don't think so.
Is she speaking to you, or is she?
Yeah, she's saying that she I think she said no.
Okay. And ask her if she could you give Isabel a hug or grab her hands and just inhale some of her beautiful energy? How does that feel?
Very calm.
Does it make for a stronger connection?
Yes.
Very good. And is there any more? Okay. Is there anyone in my immediate family? I have 5 brothers and 3 sisters. She knows that. Is there any of them expressions of myself?
Yes. You are all the same.
You mean?
She said that you are all the same.
What does she mean by we're all the same?
they are joined together.
So whenever I was speaking about what Dane said with the twin souls, and I was thinking about what Manuel said with the 57,000 expressions of myself, I was thinking, and I know that we're all connected and we're all one, as in Source experiencing himself through all of us, but my individual self, or our individual self, like you said, she said Eddie is one of my twins or an expression of myself. Does she just mean it in like everyone on the planet are all expressions of each other? Why? I'm thinking about that number, and that's what my question is. Does that make sense to her? The number 57,000. Why did he say 57,000?
Because that's how many people that you have affected, which I don't understand that.
So she says, I'm affecting 57,000 people?
Yes, worldwide.
Worldwide. And is that number growing?
Yes, every day.
And how am I doing that?
She's showing me images of videos.
Oh, okay. So have those expressions of myself, I'm a little confused. I'm confused in the sense that you say I've affected 57,000 and the number is growing, but are affecting them and being them, or isn't that different?
It is, but they come together. She said that when you're putting yourself out,
Loud and clear.
when you're putting yourself out and the people see your work, you become part of them and you make them better because of you.
Oh, very good. So it's good work then, yes?
Yes.
And she's, of course, with me at all times, so these are all expressions of herself as well.
Yes.
And these are all also twin flames. Just the word twin, you think of two in our linear expression. What does that mean on her level?
Multiple.
Okay, understood. Okay. And so my next round of questions had to do with the praying mantis that had been visiting me. And when I was in a session with Manuel, he said the praying mantis voted me onto a council, which then had me come to this planet. Is that true? And when I say praying mantis, I apologize, excuse me. When I say praying mantis, well, she knows what I mean, but the praying mantis race of extraterrestrials.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, and how are we, she and I, and Augustine, connected to the praying mantis race of extraterrestrials?
You're on the same level. She said that you're all on the same level.
Oh, very good. And the council that I was voted to, why were we voted to that council? And in particular, why was my third dimensional expression voted to this council?
It's when you're able to be voted. You're able to move up to the next level.
Okay. And so is it a part of my life plan to do what I'm doing right now? Am I on the plan that I devised before I physically manifest?
Yes.
Very good. And the praying mantis, what were they doing while they were visiting me? May I, if you don't mind answering that question again?
She said they're come to make sure you're still on track.
Very good. And so am I and she and Augustine, you say we're on the same level, but are we genetically or somehow connected? Are we a part of the prey mantis race or just cohorts?
You're part of it.
So is there a higher expression of myself that is a prey mantis? Or is it in my...
It's a higher self.
So the prey mantis that are visiting me, are they visiting me from the third dimension, or are they manifesting dimensionally to connect with me?
Dimensionally.
And every time that I felt like I was being abducted, or they were visiting me, or I was visiting them, or were they taking my body, or were they just taking my energy, my essence?
Your essence, your energy.
Okay. And so, and what is my job on this council?
To instruct, to make decisions who are able to come to the next higher up with you.
So, is she saying when I'm sleeping, my essence, my vibration goes to this council, and is the council meeting regularly?
No, just she says they meet every week, I guess is what she's saying, every week, and you decide, and you and 10 other people in this council are deciding who get to move up.
So there's 11 of us on the council?
Yes.
And does the council have a name that she could express in English? So go ahead and let her guide you, and she's going to take you to... And where is she taking you? Did you go through the door?
Yes. It just feels like very light. It's like space. We're traveling in the air.
How's that feel?
It feels very relaxing.
Very good. And you're going to be there in the count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. Where she brought you to.
We're in some, looks like it's not on the earth or on, it looks like something different.
Oh, okay, you look like you're not on Earth. And you're going to speak nice and clear and nice and loud. And so, sort of describe where she's brought you to. No matter how weird it looks.
I see, like, like buildings that are shaped really weird, and it feels very like damp in the air.
Okay, so
Buildings.
sort of beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, beautiful. And what about the entrance?
It looks like a golden door.
Oh, very beautiful. So go ahead and continue with her.
Okay.
Have you made it inside?
Mm-hmm.
And what does the inside look like?
It looks like I see a stairway on the right side, but it's like the stairs are floating.
Oh, beautiful. And what about, okay, you see the stairs on the right, and what about to the left and everywhere else around you?
I'm gonna see. It looks just like a large room on the left with this stairway down, like 3 steps down into a larger room.
In which direction would she say that my higher self is?
Up the stairs.
Up the stairs. Okay, so my higher self, I've already established, her name is Isabel. Could you ask Isabel, or could either one of you ask Isabel, say, Isabel, can you come forward, please, or come out, please, or would you rather go up the stairs to meet her? Does it look like it'll be fun to go up those steps?
Yeah, she's wanting to come up the stairs.
Oh, okay, well, let's go ahead and get to the top of it now. Let's go ahead and ask Kayla. Kayla, where have you brought you? Where are you?
To Hank's higher self.
Ah, very good. And are they there? Can you see them? Or ask her, can she point in their direction?
Yes, she's pointing.
And where is she pointing to?
She's pointing at this building that we're walking into.
Ah, beautiful. And you say the building is shaped weird. What type of shape does it have?
It's got like triangles and rounded shapes. It's just not a regular shape.